For the past number of years, if you have any social media, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, you've probably seen it time and time again. UK Disneyland, UK Disneyland, UK Disneyland, UK Disneyland, UK Disneyland, UK Disney World? Well, that makes a change. Let's get one thing straight. This is hopefully going to be the UK's next major theme park, but this won't be Disneyland, Disney World, or anything related to Disney in any way. This new theme park, which has been popping up in the news over the past number of years, is actually called the London Resort. And if and when this park is finally built, it's pretty certain that this will be one of, if not the biggest theme park in the UK. Now, it's pretty obvious that the London Resort's advertising campaign is to market this park as the UK version of Disneyland. But what else do we know about this park? Well, in today's video, we're going to be looking at everything we know so far about the London Resort, and when we can finally expect to see the UK Disneyland open its gates. So first of all, let's go right back to the start. Now, this project has been going on for 10 years now, as it was first reported back in 2012. Although the park will be called the London Resort, it is actually based in a place in the UK called Kent, which is close to, but isn't quite London. But let's face it, the Kent Resort doesn't really have the same ring to it. Back in 2012, plans were for the park to be based around Paramount Pictures, which would cover a whole bunch of different rides based around movies. Back in 2012, the plan was for the park to open in 2019, which of course did not happen. But since 2019, we have been receiving more news than ever in regards to the London Resort. At one point, it felt like this park was never going to open, but now in 2022, we've received more details and concept art, but we could actually see the London Resort be brought to life in the very near future. If you visit the resort's website, londonresort.info, you'll find all the plans and information about the project so far. This includes their vision, which goes into detail about what we can expect along with concept art, the benefits of what the park will bring to the local area, and also an overview of the project itself. The main project site lies in the county of Kent, in the boroughs of Dartford and Gravesham, and within Ebbsfleet Garden City. North of the river, the site lies within Thurrock in the historic county of Essex. This site is just 17 minutes to central London by train and offers excellent links to the rest of the country and mainland Europe. The project's unique location presents the opportunity to maximise the use of river and rail, and the site is already connected to excellent public transport links. In December 2020, following extensive consultation and technical assessments, the London Resort's DCO application was submitted to the Planning Inspectorate, which was then accepted on the 28th of January 2021. So now it's looking pretty promising that the project is starting to develop, and the London Resort are looking to begin construction as soon as this year. Now originally, the 2019 opening date was pushed back to 2024, which is only 2 years away. Now you've got to think that this isn't just a park on its own, it's a resort. So that means there'll be hotels as well. So with a 2024 opening date, it was a little bit far-fetched. However, now the new scheduled opening year is 2025, which is still pretty soon in my opinion, but who knows, they might be able to do it in 3 years. The main reason I believe a 2025 opening is a bit far-fetched is because there's still a lot of reviewing that needs to be done before they can actually begin building. I mean, it takes roughly 12 to 18 months from the date the examination application is accepted before an examination can be completed. However, we are seeing progress, and the London Resort is looking more likely than it has ever been before. This is mainly down to the new concept art, which was released recently. Now, even though this has been plastered everywhere as the UK version of Disneyland, from the concept art, this is looking way more like the UK version of Universal Studios, or their new theme park, which will be opening in the next few years, Epic Universe. Even though it looks very much like a Universal park, this would be by far the most unique looking park in the UK, and along with that, this will be the most themed theme park in the UK too. Apart from Chessington World of Adventures and Alton Park, in my opinion, I've always thought theming is something UK parks lack. Don't get me wrong, the rides and coasters and overall park experiences are great, however, compared to other parks around the world, the theming is something I have always felt could be done a bit better. From the concept art, it looks like the London Resort will be the overall package. Just from looking at this one image, it's obvious that this will be the biggest and best park in the UK. They have mentioned, and as you can see from the most recent concept art, that most of this park will be undercover, as it is in the UK. Overseas in parks like Disneyland, Disney World and Universal Studios, most of the parks are outdoors as it's mostly good sunny weather. In the UK, not so much. So it's great to see that they will be putting lots of indoor sections to this park. You can also see that the main hub area is also indoors too. There is a huge castle towards the back end of the park, which looks similar to the likes of Hogwarts, and also with that fire-breathing dragon on top. That also looks pretty familiar too, if you ask me. Along with that, there is a huge coaster, which could possibly be a wooden coaster or an RMC, Rocky Mountain construction, which if so, this will be the first RMC in the UK, which is what pretty much every UK coaster enthusiast has been waiting for. To the right, it appears that most of this area is indoors. Maybe these could be dark rides, indoor coasters, it's impossible to tell at the moment. Maybe it could be an entertainment area possibly. I'm sure that we'll find out in due course. Originally there were more coasters on the concept art, however it looks like this has now changed unless these coasters are indoors, which is definitely an option. And talking of coasters, on the left hand side, this is more coaster heavy. You have a few dinosaurs there, so we could maybe have a dinosaur themed coaster, which we haven't seen at any parks recently, have we? But honestly, overall this park looks really good, and if it does open, then it will be the best in the UK, there's no question about it. It appears that Merlin Entertainment, who own Alton Towers, Thorpe Park, Chessington and Legoland Windsor, are becoming slightly more worried about the possibility of a London resort. And I mean, by looking at that concept art, wouldn't you be too? Merlin have announced a few different rides and coasters recently, such as their 236 tall coaster at Thorpe Park, and their new coaster coming to Chessington too. I'm sure we'll see even more new additions coming to other Merlin parks over the coming years. Whether it's down to just wanting to expand and bring new experiences, or the fact that they're a little bit nervous about the possibility of this new park opening, it benefits us guests either way. We may all be a little bit skeptical about the London Resort, and you have a right to be so. As I mentioned at the start of the video, this project has been going on now for 10 years, which is a very long time to say that nothing has even been built yet, so it's only right to be skeptical. However, I do believe that this project could be brought to life in the very near future. The only reason this project has taken so long is that there have been various different barriers that have stood in the way of the planning, such as environmental factors and wildlife, the location, and just the fact that this will be a huge project which will affect the local area, transport, and of course cost a whole lot of money. But I believe these issues will be resolved, and whether you see it as the UK Disneyland, UK Universal Studios, whatever you want to call it, this is the park that the UK really needs, and hopefully in 2025 we will finally see the opening of the London Resort. So that's it for this video. I want to know your thoughts on the London Resort, so let me know down in the comments below. Do you think that this park could open in 2025? And if it does open, do you think it will beat the other parks in the UK? I want to know your thoughts. When more news is announced, good or bad, I'll be sure to share everything right here on the channel. So to make sure you don't miss anything, be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell so you don't miss a single thing. But that is it for this video, so thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one.